Hello everybody, welcome back. It's good to see you here. I want to talk to you today about keeping the competitive edge by maintaining lifelong learning. You know, it's interesting to me that continuing education is a requirement in many professions. I mean, you think about all of the medical professions, they are required to have a certain amount of continuing education credits every year. Not only them, but also lawyers, CPAs, pilots, everybody who's involved as an electrician, HVAC contractors, professional engineers. In some states, even hairdressers are required to have a certain number of continuing education credits in order to retain their license. Who is not required to have continuing education? Us, preachers. Now, it's pretty obvious that it's not possible for us to be regulated by the state and required to have a certain number of continuing education hours. We're not required. We require it of ourselves in order to retain our effectiveness. We don't want to become ineffective. We want to be competitive. And I'm going to talk more about that in just a moment. In 2009, a book came out called Why Johnny Can't Preach. It's an interesting book. If you get an opportunity to read it, you might go through it. It's a short book and a fast read, but the writer makes two really salient points. Why can't Johnny preach? Well, Johnny can't preach because Johnny won't read and Johnny can't write. And both of those are essential communication skills. It's pretty obvious you need to be able to read and write in order to preach. But for too many of my preaching colleagues, and I've met some of these guys, and you have too, the last book they ever read was the last book they had to read in order to pass the last test they ever took in order to get that diploma and begin preaching. And since that time, they have never read another book. They've never read a journal article. They don't read magazines. They don't even read a newspaper. All of the information that they get is from video and from social media. You can't get your theology from social media. And yes, thank you, I am aware of the irony of me talking on social media about not getting your theology from social media. So we're going to talk a little bit more about the benefits of lifelong learning because that's really where it's at. Lifelong learning is what we want to engage in. Okay, so one of the things that we always want to know is, what's in it for me? What do I get from this lifelong learning thing that you're talking about? Let me tell you a few benefits that work from lifelong learning. The first and most important benefit is your improved relevance and your effectiveness in preaching and teaching about Jesus Christ. We're involved in a conflict of ideas and attitudes and beliefs. You know that. That's who we are and what we do. But it's important to know where our competition exists. Our competition really is not with other preachers, certainly, and our competition is not with other religious groups. Our competition is with ungodly influences in the world, and they come from all over the place. It's not only media. It's an easy target for us to pick on, but it's not only media. We also have those influences from education, from government, and from many other locations. Anyone who chooses to exercise leadership is attempting to influence people. That's what leadership really is all about. We need to combat those ungodly influences with great godly influences, and we can do that if we continue to learn and develop. Most of these ungodly ideas have been advanced in the past. There's nothing new about these ideas and beliefs or the attitudes that we're trying to combat with truth and righteousness. All of these things have been addressed in the past, and it's really important that we access that help. There are very, very smart people who have looked at these things in the past and have come to great conclusions and insights that will help us. We don't want to ignore that. So first of all, there's great relevance and great effectiveness that is improved by our lifelong learning. But that's not the only benefit there is. There are other benefits as well. We have the benefit of personal improvement and a raised sense of competence in ourselves. We have confidence in who we are, that we know what we're talking about. We've examined these situations, and we really do understand what the problem is and how to address it from the pages of Scripture. Another benefit is we get to network with other people who are similarly growing and attempting to maintain their competitive edge. And I'll talk a little bit more about the networking. Where does that come in? Give me a moment, we're going to get there. A fourth benefit to this, beyond the networking, is, bottom line, better quality preaching and teaching. We're trying to bring the influence of Jesus into people's lives, and the better we can do that, the more effective we will be. It all is bound up together in our whole mission of being representatives of Jesus and helping people to have the Spirit of Christ growing and developing within them. And the fifth benefit basically is just joy. It is absolutely thrilling to come in contact with these new insights and find these connections mentally with really, really smart people over the ages who have dealt with serious problems and can help us to move people forward and help them to understand what's really at stake in some of these ungodly ideas and influences that we find in our lives. There are great benefits to this lifelong learning. And by now, you're sitting here thinking, oh, okay, you've got me convinced. This is a really good thing. I probably get involved in that. So how exactly do I do that? And that's an important thing to address. We are the most blessed people in human history. We have tremendous resources for lifelong learning. And let me just mention a few. There are others that I'm not going to talk about, but understand this. First of all, there are lectureships that colleges give. Now, I've been going to lectureships since I was in college. This is more than 40 years that I've been going to university lectureships. Here's what I typically find. I find 500 retired people and about 4 people under the age of 40 there. Preachers are not taking advantage of the wonderful education resources that we have. We have some of the finest scholars and some of the most cutting-edge research that is given to us at these lectureships, and preachers cut themselves off from it. There's no need to do that. Go to the lectureships. They're free. They're wonderful. You will find some wonderful insights there. In addition, there are seminars that are conducted at various universities. There are special studies that take place. Even art exhibitions can shed wonderful light on biblical passages. It doesn't even feel like lifelong learning. It feels like you're just in an art museum marveling at some ancient works. But they will be valuable resources for you. Check the calendar of your alma mater. They will tell you when the lectureships or seminars or special studies are taking place. You'll have great opportunities to do that. Don't overlook that. Go to the lectureships. A second resource is, obviously, there are online courses. Every university in the United States is working hard to improve their online offerings. You can audit classes sometimes, you can take the classes for credit sometimes, and by the way, I mentioned earlier the idea of networking with people who are similarly growing. Those are the people you find in those classes. You'll develop some lifelong friendships with some of these people who will help you and continue to help you as you continue to grow and keep that competitive edge by lifelong learning. So there are resources in lectureships, special seminars, there are classes you can take online. Absolutely keep reading. Don't ever stop reading. Get recommendations from other people about good books. You have colleagues that will recommend books to you. You can email your former professors and ask what they would recommend in certain areas, and they'll be glad to respond to help you with that lifelong learning to continue to go forward. Now look, there are hundreds of books that are published every year, and one estimate says there are over 4,000 professional religion journals that are published. You can't read all that. You don't have time. What you need is recommendations from people who have already been there and can help you. So get the recommendations from your colleagues. Get the recommendations from your professors. If you're going to use public libraries, by all means, go to the public libraries, go to the college libraries in your area. You would be amazed at what religion resources you will find, even in state-supported schools. They have sometimes wonderful holdings, especially of reference materials that would impact the biblical world that we're so interested in. Use your public libraries, use your college libraries. Finally, let me say a word about buying books. If you choose to buy books, do yourself a favor and buy only the best books you can find. Don't waste your money on poor quality materials. Things that are old, things that are out of copyright, things like that often have been wildly superseded by new scholarship. It is expensive to buy good books. Go ahead and spend the money. You don't have to buy them all at once. Buy them gradually over time, but only buy the best. You will actually be saving money by doing that. There are all kinds of resources that are available to us for lifelong learning, and that means that joy is out there waiting for us to experience as we continue to learn and grow and develop in our effectiveness. I want to stop here and I want to turn my attention real quickly just to say a word to elders. Elders, please listen to me for just a moment. Encourage your preachers. Don't make it hard on them to go to lectureships. For many years, I had an arrangement with my elders where I was allowed 2 Sundays away from the pulpit simply for personal growth, lifelong learning, going to the lectureships, going to the seminars, sermon seminars, and so on. Don't make it hard on preachers. Help them to grow. You may even want to pay for courses or for seminars. Help them to be better. It will have tremendous benefits for your congregation. You will really see a process of growth in your preacher and in your congregation, and that's what it's all about. This is all about ministry, because ministry matters. You know it, I know it, the Lord knows it. Ministry matters. Let's keep learning and keep that competitive edge out there. And God bless you. And as always, folks, like, subscribe, and share if someone can use this video, because ministry matters. God bless you.